comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So every single morning, this is what I do. At 5:30 a.m., my alarm goes off, and the only way to wake myself up is I have to go straight to my phone. As long as I get the blue light into my eyes, I'm fine. So I go straight to my phone, 5:31 a.m., and I'm like, Bitcoin price. What's the fucking Bitcoin price? What happened in those 3.5 hours I was asleep? I go to sleep looking at Bitcoin price. I wake up looking at Bitcoin price. Then the next thing I do is I look up IREN stock price, see what's happening there. Then I look up Cypher, and then I look up MicroStrategy. And this serves two purposes. One's to wake me up, and the other one's to motivate me to get through another fucking hellish day of work. Because if it goes up, if I'm looking at the charts and it's going up, then I'm happy because I would have had to have sold the shit to pay for the debt I'm in if I didn't go get a job. And this morning was quite the surprise because I went to sleep and Bitcoin was down 5% when I went to sleep. It's gone from like 71,000 to 60. I think it dropped down to 66. It was back at 67, so about 5%. And that usually means MicroStrategy goes down and the Bitcoin miners, IREN and Cypher, go down as well. They're pretty correlated at the moment. They'll break soon, and by break I mean it won't matter that much what Bitcoin does because Cypher and IREN are actually high-powered compute infrastructure trades, not Bitcoin mining trades. Anyway, I wake up this morning, Bitcoin's still down 5%. I look at IREN, and lo and behold, up 20%. So IREN's the first one to snap the fucking link with Bitcoin, and it's been repriced on its infrastructure and computing power and its access to energy. 20%, 20 fucking percent IREN was up today on a day Bitcoin was down 5%. That's fucking insane. Cypher wasn't. Cypher was like 0.5% up. Anyway, IREN now in the last 1 month is up 154%. And I've been at work about a month now. So I've made the right call going and getting a job and not fucking selling that shit. Thank God. It could drop back, but I think this thing's really going to fucking rip. I don't know if I should buy more, even though I have no money. But the money I was going to use to pay off the credit cards this week, maybe I should buy a little bit more. It's sitting at $12 something. I don't know. It's just always one of those things where you're like, fuck, I wish I had fucking more money on it. I tried too. I tried everything. I asked a bunch of friends if I could fucking borrow money. They're like, when can I get it back? And I'm like, that remains to be seen. I'm not too sure. Maybe like a year or so. Like, is that? Anyway, I ended up getting some money and being able to fucking put it on IREN, and my IREN has only gone up 135%, but in 1 month it's up 154%. I bought it earlier at a little higher price. It actually went down for the first 2 months I had IREN. But when you believe in something, you believe. I've got no fucking idea where this thing's going to go now. I feel like selling a little bit of my MicroStrategy to put it on IREN, but I have a soft spot for that MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy is not going to move unless the Bitcoin price moves. That's like pretty fucking linked to Bitcoin now. You're not going to get a premium on MicroStrategy anymore. You used to get a premium. By premium, I mean Bitcoin will go up 5% and MicroStrategy will go up 9%. So you get a 4% premium on MicroStrategy. You used to get it, not anymore. It's leveled out a little bit since the ETFs, and now the miners Bitcoin miners are gaining popularity. So it's just fucking motivating. I'm like, all right, that's what I'm here for. I'm here so I can fucking keep that fucking trade. And I didn't have to fucking sell it, thank God. Do you know how fucking depressed I would be now if I fucking sold that shit just so I didn't have to go back to work? You have no fucking idea how much I had to hustle to get the money to fucking put that trade on as well. I had no money. I had to fucking borrow it. I'm so fucking bullish on IREN though. It's like 12.35 now USD. And I fucking just don't know where the top of this thing is. I don't even know where my exit is. I'm pretty much following a guy on Twitter. This is how it all started. I was listening to a podcast with this lady. She's like a Bitcoiner, like finance lady, Caitlin Long. And she just off the cuff said, she was talking about Bitcoin mining companies. And she's like, for all that information, of course, I go to Mike Alfred. And I'm like, who the fuck's Mike Alfred? This is like 8 months ago. And so I looked him up on Twitter and he just seemed to be fucking nailing everything. He was like calling prices, Bitcoin prices, and then the miners. And then he was like explaining what exahash. And then I spent like 6 months just devouring everything that cunt has to say. He's also what I look at first thing in the morning. Mike Alfred. I go Bitcoin, IREN, Cypher, MicroStrategy, Mike Alfred's Twitter. But it took me 6 months of listening to every single thing he said. He does like these 2-hour, 3-hour Twitter spaces as well, and just talks about like the industry, all that sort of shit. And I'm like, I still didn't believe him. I was like, all right, I'll fucking dip my toe in a little bit here. I'll have a little fucking crack. And then what happened was Cypher went up. That went up like 60% or something. And then it came back down to like 0%. It actually went backwards. And IREN was doing nothing. And then they had the earnings report. And IREN tanked a little bit. But I went straight to Daniel Roberts, who is the CEO of IREN. He's an Australian guy as well. And I watched his explanation of what they've got in the fucking pipeworks and that. And I watched it. I'm like, fucking IREN is going to take off. And I was sold. And Mike Alfred is the whole fucking reason. He's kept me in the game, in the mining game. And now I don't know where this is going to go, but I'm just going to follow Mike Alfred's tips. He only really had 2 big tips. It was IREN and Cypher. And Cypher hasn't done much yet, but that has the same sort of like vibe as IREN has now. So it could happen. So it turns out spending 8.5 to 12.5 hours on Twitter per day was a good idea. But fucking big shout out to Mike Alfred. Big fucking Mike Alfred out there in the USA. What a fucking legend. And it was all cryptic because he's actually on the board, or he's a director of IREN as well. So he can't give financial advice or tell you to buy the stock. So I had to hear what he was saying behind what he was actually saying. But yeah, I'm bullish. Fuck yeah. Anyway, that'll fucking do it for today. I just didn't have fucking time to do a Boyle Breaks history as well. I'm on the ebooks now. Went down to the library yesterday on my day off and I was listening to Murray Rothbard's Anatomy of the State, or of a State, and it's pretty good, but I fucking zone in and out of audiobooks. I'll get used to it. I'll get fucking used to it. Anyway, fucking, we've also got the Degeni Diaries coming out tonight. We had fucking Kev from Canada, not the one I had on the second episode of the Degeni Diaries. I'm talking about Kev from Canada, my website guy. You've all heard about him. Now we get to fucking have a chat. Had a great chat with him. We didn't really speak about alcohol at all. Bit of comedy, bit of stuff about Nicaragua, bit of Bitcoin, you know, all the classics. Anyway, that'll fucking do it, and I'll see ya the fuck later.